When you think of cake, your mind probably goes to birthday candles, wedding tables, or maybe your grandmother's kitchen. But have you ever wondered how cakes are made when millions of them are needed every single day? Not by hand, not in ovens you can peek into, but in massive high-speed baking facilities that can produce thousands of perfect cakes an hour. From measuring flour with the precision of a lab to packaging a frosted cake without smudging a single swirl, industrial cake production is a world of machinery, science, and sweet-smelling precision. So today we're stepping inside a cake factory to uncover how a treat this delicate is mass-produced with consistency and care. 1. Measuring the ingredients. Precision in every scoop. The process starts with the most basic building blocks: flour, sugar, eggs, oil, butter, milk, and leavening agents like baking powder. But in a cake factory, these aren't measured in cups or tablespoons. Instead, they're handled in bulk, delivered by truckloads, stored in huge silos, and dispensed by computerized systems that measure everything down to the gram. The factory's recipe database controls how much of each ingredient goes into every batch. Once the system is set for a certain type of cake, chocolate, vanilla, red velvet, the exact formula is followed automatically. Dry ingredients are usually blended in one mixing area, while wet ingredients are piped in from separate tanks. Both streams meet in enormous mixers that can handle hundreds of liters at once. The idea here is consistency. No matter how many cakes are being made or what day it is, every batch of batter needs to taste, smell, and look exactly the same. The precision with which these ingredients are combined ensures the factory delivers the same soft, fluffy texture customers expect in every single bite. 2. Mixing. Turning ingredients into cake batter. Once all the ingredients are measured, they move into industrial mixers, towering machines that blend the batter with a perfect balance of speed and aeration. Mixing times are carefully controlled because overmixing can make cakes tough, while undermixing can lead to flat, uneven results. The mixing paddles spin and fold the batter, pulling in just the right amount of air to give the cake its rise and lightness. Sensors often check the temperature of the batter, because the friction from mixing can heat it up. If it gets too warm, the batter could behave differently in the oven. The goal is to create a smooth, lump-free, perfectly blended mixture, thick, creamy, and ready to rise. This batter is then transferred into holding tanks, kept at a stable temperature, and constantly stirred to prevent settling or crusting until it's time to bake. 3. Depositing. Filling the cake molds with speed and accuracy. With the batter ready, it's time to portion it out. Instead of someone spooning batter into pans, automated depositing machines handle this task with remarkable speed. Conveyor belts move empty baking trays or molds underneath large nozzles that release exact portions of batter, one after another in perfect rhythm. Each mold is filled to a specific level to allow for proper rising during baking. The machinery adjusts automatically depending on the type of cake being made: round, square, cupcake, or sheet cake. The entire system works continuously, with little waste and almost no human contact. In high-volume factories, thousands of cakes can be portioned in just an hour. To prevent sticking, the trays are often sprayed with a thin layer of oil or lined with paper, depending on the factory's method. As soon as the molds are filled, they move down the line toward the baking chambers. 4. Baking. Precision ovens that never sleep. The baking process is where the transformation really begins. In industrial settings, cakes aren't baked in traditional ovens. Instead, they move through long tunnel ovens, enclosed chambers that run for several meters, where the cakes travel on a conveyor belt at a steady pace. The oven is divided into zones with different temperature controls. As the cakes move through, they rise, set, and develop their crumb and crust. The airflow, humidity, and heat levels are all calibrated by computers to suit the recipe. Any sudden fluctuation in temperature could ruin the entire batch, so every second is timed precisely. Depending on the cake type, baking can take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. As the cakes emerge from the tunnel, they are hot, golden, and fully set, ready for cooling before any decoration or packaging happens. 5. Cooling. Bringing the cakes to the perfect temperature. Before the cakes can be frosted, filled, or boxed, they must be completely cooled. If not, the heat from the cake could melt icing or trap moisture inside the packaging, ruining both the appearance and the shelf life. The cakes are transferred onto cooling conveyors, often spiraled or multi-level systems that let air circulate evenly around each item. This slow, gentle cooling helps preserve the structure and prevent cracking. Depending on the factory setup, cooling can take 20 minutes to over an hour. Cakes are also checked at this stage for quality, ensuring they have risen properly, aren't lopsided, and don't have any visible flaws. Those that don't pass the test are pulled from the line, either recycled into other products or discarded. 6. Decorating and filling. The finishing touches. Now comes the fun part, decoration. In large-scale production, even frosting is automated. Robotic arms and high-precision nozzles apply icing, spreads, or fillings with consistency that rivals professional bakers. A rotating table might spin each cake as a nozzle swirls, frosting across the top in a perfect spiral, while another machine adds cream, jam, or mousse between layers. Some factories use airbrush systems to color cakes or apply designs with stencils. Others use automated sprinklers to add chocolate chips, nuts, or colorful confetti. If needed, printed logos or edible labels are applied by machine, and if the cake needs a cherry on top, yes, even that is done robotically. Despite the heavy automation, quality control workers are stationed along the line to ensure the finish looks right and the flavor layers are consistent. While the machines do the heavy lifting, human eyes still have the final say. 7. Packaging. Protecting the sweetness. Once decorated, the cakes head toward packaging. For cupcakes and snack cakes, this often means being individually wrapped in plastic film and sealed with nitrogen gas to keep them fresh. Larger cakes are placed into rigid plastic containers or boxes with transparent windows so customers can see what they're buying. Packaging machines must be careful. Too tight and the frosting could get smashed. Too loose and the product may shift during transit. Some cakes are placed into boxes by robotic arms, while others are manually handled depending on fragility. Every package is labeled with a production date, expiration date, and batch code for traceability. Once sealed, the cakes are boxed, palletized, and sent out to distribution centers, ready to hit supermarket shelves, vending machines, or cafes across the country. 8. Safety and quality. Behind every bite. Throughout the entire process, factories maintain strict hygiene and food safety standards. Equipment is cleaned daily and surfaces are checked for contamination. Workers wear protective clothing, hairnets, and gloves, and temperature-sensitive ingredients are constantly monitored. In-house labs test random samples of finished cakes for texture, flavor, moisture content, and shelf stability. If something goes wrong with the batch, the factory can trace it back through digital logs, identifying exactly which ingredients were used, when, and by whom. This tight control not only protects the brand's reputation, it also ensures that the cake you bite into today tastes exactly like the one you had last month. Making cakes at home is an act of love, but making millions of cakes for stores around the world? That's a feat of engineering. Behind every spongy slice is a team of machines, recipes, and people working together to turn raw ingredients into reliable perfection. Soft texture, rich flavor, and beautiful presentation every time. So the next time you pick up a factory-made cake, take a moment to appreciate the journey. From flour in a silo to frosting nozzles on a robotic arm. There's more heart and science in that plastic container than you might think. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look into the world of cake production, give this video a like and subscribe for more mouth-watering breakdowns of how your favorite things are made. And tell us in the comments, what snack or dessert should we explore next? Until then, stay curious and keep enjoying the sweet things in life.